Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and our next Today in Tarkov video, or some of you have gone to calling it TIT. I don't know if I like that or don't like it, but we'll stick with it for now. First things up, I want to talk about changing kind of the plan here. I was going to do these every day, and I was enjoying doing them every day, but there's not enough news to talk about stuff every day with Tarkov. So we'll try to do 3 days a week, I think, or whenever news comes. If we have like a busy news week and there's stuff happening every day, I'll do it every day just to keep you guys up to speed. But otherwise, I'm not just going to do videos that don't have anything of value to add in them. So that's how we'll do this going forward. But fortunately today we've got something to talk about. VSG on their Instagram and on Twitter showed a clip of the MDR failure to extract malfunction, which is basically the gun fires, but the round doesn't eject, it doesn't cycle. You got to go through a whole process. And this is what it looks like in real life. They did a great job of modeling it. The only thing that they didn't get right is I wish it was this easy to do in real life, is that the guy in the game is doing it, because I fight this thing. Getting this thing off of here is actually kind of hard to do. Now this one piqued my interest a lot because I have an MDR in real life. I've dealt with this malfunction mostly because I'm too lazy to tune the gas block on it, and for those of you that shoot guns, when you put a suppressor on them and you don't change the gas block, sometimes you get some issues, and that's what it is for me. The gun shoots fine otherwise, but I can actually show you something really cool. All right, so here is my MDR. I need to get a better mic so I can walk around and do this. This is the extractor on the side that they're showing as it clears. The crazy thing is how accurate they have this. So when the mag goes forward, as you'll see, the brass ejects out the front, just like that. Now, that's a slow motion version of it, so it just kind of fell out. Here, give me a sec to reset it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it does it at full speed. All right, so when I release the bolt to go forward, you're gonna see the brass come flying out of here. Now it's on the other side of my room, but you guys can see how that works. Now clearing this thing, you can do it, you pull that off, but like shaking it and getting that bolt to come out, I've never been able to do that. Now that might be the difference between a 5.56 and a 308. Usually I have to pry to get it out of here. And here's the piece, the one that they show in the game. So that's it, that's the MDR. Pretty cool little malfunction they're bringing in. While I have you guys here, one thing I want to show you. Here's the 20 round mags, the P mags they have in the game, right? Nice and fit and snug. No big deal. Be kind of cool if VSG would include what's in real life. That's a 30 round mag. Come on, Nikita, let's get 30 round mags here. They fit in great, they're windowed, it shoots comfortable, it doesn't get in your way, as you can see here. No ergo hit. Maybe we have to do an ergo hit for balance, whatever, but can we please get 30 rounders for the MDR? Please, 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 30 rounders. They exist, they're real, it's not a made up thing. I guess they'd be for the SR25 too, if that was the case. You know, anything that those PMags would go into, you can have 30 rounders for. Aside from that, and me being able to show you real life firearms and kind of dick around with them a little bit, which I love doing. We got another one from Logic, a tweet. He got a message. It's an early release of a message coming from one of the traders. We don't know which one yet. To me, it kind of sounds like Therapist, but I guess it could be Fence because that's where they've come from in the past. And it reads like this. Young man, how are you feeling? Recently, we received a huge number of victims with severe alcohol poisoning. Not all of them made a full recovery. So many people died, not even because of the bullets. In our hard times, you have to prioritize your well-being, not where you find cheap booze. In any case, today there are noticeable fewer patients, so I suppose they have already finished all the bad alcohol. No more harm from it. We're good people. I wonder where they got all this vodka. All right, so we'll see where this message is, what it leads to. I'm not totally sure, honestly. Vodka doesn't have a huge effect on the game, so you know, if they change like the stats of it, or you know, like where it poisons you, or they make more of it available, it's not going to change a whole lot. But I'm wondering if maybe it has an effect on the scav case, or maybe a lot of the meds got used up because there's a lot of patients and there's a med shortage. I don't know, something's coming, so I would be looking forward to this in our next event. So that pretty much wraps up the news for today. We'll jump right into crafting. We'll do a quick review of that just so you guys are caught up, and we'll wrap up the video with a couple of tips, things you might not know about in the game. So let's get right into it here. Top crafts in the hideout right now are capacitors, Lucky Scav Junk Box, pile of meds, VPX, and then cigarettes. The Wilstons lose you the least amount of money in the nutrition unit. Now, these are based off of 24-hour averages. You can do better, you can do worse. Just keep that in mind. These are averages, the best crafts you can look at right now. Specifically at the workbench, a couple of things I want to talk about. Capacitors. You can push this a lot higher than what the average price says, right? So if you go look here, you're saying it's making 17,000, you can push this to 20,000 per hour in your profits if you shoot for PSUs under 18,000, which is 100% doable, and your screwdrivers under 7. And then most importantly, sell your capacitors for 9,500 rubles. This will net you the most profit. These are the most likely. You can push these even further and sometimes get cheaper components and sell even higher. But me looking at it, this is probably a good place for everybody to aim for. Same thing with wires. Shoot for 11,000 on your power cords and then 8,500 on your wires, and you're going to push that profit up into 20,000 as well. Magnets. Now these got cheap again. It's hard to get hard drives under 10K, but you will see it. So shoot for 10K and then list your magnets for 24,000. Sometimes they won't sell till the end of the afternoon or evening when people are getting off and starting to craft their defibs, because that's what most of these get used for. But that is where I say I think is the best place to make money at is 10,000 on magnets. I'm sorry, 10,000 on hard drives and 24,000 on magnets. Now green gunpowder, you just buy your components from the traders, so whatever. But try to push for over 51,000 on your gunpowder. I've been able to get 52, 53, but it's not super consistent. So to try to get a little bit more, don't sell at that 49.50 range. Push for 51 out of your green gunpowders. Over at the laboratory, not a whole lot to talk about here. Lucky Scav Junk Box is the best. Ripstop out of Scav Vests, but again, make sure you are getting your Scav Vest from Jaeger with the Slicker's barter. If you're crafting or buying, whichever, that is the best way to do it. It's going to make you decent money. After that, you've got bleach, Cordura, and actually bandages as well if you want to go that route. I'm doing Ripstop and Cordura craft, cycling those for my leveling of my hideout. And then lastly, at the workbench, your top crafts to craft at the end of the day are going to be BP, SP6, and SPP. They're going to make you the most money out of a single craft. I usually do BP just because you can push the profit end a little bit higher than the others. And then as far as your long crafts on the laboratory, it's just a Lucky Scav Junk Box. It doesn't change. That's the one you can do. I do grenades. Cases every time I get 2 empty fuel metal cans. That's what I do for those, because it's a great use for them. It doesn't make you a ton of money, but it's where I like doing stuff to make money at. Over at the Intel Center, VPX's Intel, RFIDs, and flash drives. It's your best way to go with these. I do flash drives in intelligence because it's a time versus money kind of thing for me. I want to craft as much as I can, as fast as I can to level up my crafting. Just be careful with the VPX craft that you're always aiming for that higher end of that price. You're aiming for that 192, 193, 195, and you're not selling on the 180s because it's going to obviously eat into your profit. And you'll see that because you see these swings in the VPX because of the duration of the craft. At the med station, something I want to point out here is your pile of meds. These are your stock prices, but you can do a lot better than this simply by selling your pile of meds, pushing 10,000, or getting your AI2s and your augmentins and bandages cheaper. And one good way to get AI2s cheaper is actually on fence. And you can do this with some other utilities too. I just kind of want to show you this, see if we get kind of lucky. We'll look here. I don't see anything, but you can see here you can get army bandages for like 833 to help craft IFAKs if you're in that direction. And we'll hit refresh here a couple of times. Maybe we can use the magic of video editing to show you an AI2. So here's a screenshot I grabbed a little bit ago. You can see here you're getting this AI2 for about 2,900 to 3,000 rubles. It saves you a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's not a lot. It seems like it's a lot of work, but even that little bit can push this into 7,000 to 8,000 rubles an hour. Those couple hundred rubles with crafting with pile of meds, especially as your crafting time gets down into like the half-hour range or even faster, you're doing a lot better. Aside from that, you've got AI2s, SJ6s, and then your long craft is the defib. Let me clear all these prices out of here real quick because these are the prices we set for other stuff. But as you look, the defib makes money on your average prices. Obviously, if you get in your wires, capacitors, and magnets cheaper than the average, you're going to do better, which is what I suggest you do. Buy those up when you see them cheap, and then do the defib craft at the end of the night and try to sell it for like 145 if you can. And then lastly is the nutrition unit. Me personally, I'm crafting Willistons and Slickers to level up. That's because I can basically break even with Willistons. I shoot for about 18,000 on tea and 5,500 on the cigarettes, and that makes me, you can make a little bit of money, but you're basically breaking even on it. And then lastly with the Slickers, I shoot for about 9,000 or less on the oat flakes if I can, and then I take crackers out of raid because the flea market fee on crackers at 10,000 rubles is like 1,500. So even you're not really making money selling crackers. So I take them out of raid, but they're kind of like Amelia Rise. I use them for this craft, and then I take the Slickers and I turn those into Scav Vests, and then I craft those into Cordura, and that long chain basically breaks even for me, makes a little bit of money, but I can level up my crafting faster. All right, well, that wraps up the video. Missed you guys. I haven't done one of these in a couple of days, but we'll keep them up if we see some more news. Shout out to the Patreons, as always. Those guys are the huge supporters of the content, and I greatly appreciate all they do. And thank you to everybody who watched the video. You guys are as much a part of this as anybody else, so thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next video.